YAHAWAH.
Greatmillstone. We've been verse, you know, and brothers, we're you know, you got issues. We see on news dealing with World War III and all that. Well, that when the chip ain't even pushed where it's mandatory to where you take this or you die. Yeah. When that in, that's like yeah.
Yeah, because the new article is saying that by the year 2030 they want everyone. So it's 20. What if we are just approve the lot of these guns? How long did it take for a company to get exposed? Right? It took like what? Like damn near 10 years. About 8 to 10 years it took for a company to get exposed, man. You know, the shit that comes out behind all these guys, how long does it take, you know? And then afterwards, are they continuing in faith or are they continuing in the ways of men? So like the brother was saying, like Apostle Har has been saying, look, we see these things going on, but there's still other things to come.
Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in YAHAWASHI Mashiach, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also.
And that's the whole point of that's committing unto faithful men a certain doctrine, a certain way in which you are to carry yourself, being behind enemy lines, being here in captivity, no matter if you're in America or Australia or UK, you know, Africa or whatnot. As Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So Esau has his control throughout all these different regions of the planet Earth. But excuse me, but when you have this ministry, it's a certain way you okay.
Thou therefore endure this as a good son of Yahweh.
That's the point. You got to endure hardness as a good soldier of YAHAWASHI Mashiach. All right, the everyday adversities you go through. All right, car fucking up on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happened today?
We on the way to camp bright and early. You know what I'm saying? And that's beautiful because this brother is known for since I was thinking about this the other day, man. When I first started holding camp with this brother, all of it, you know,
All of it.
Thinking like we used to start at before, like around noon, sometimes before noon, and there were times we didn't get up out of there until like 10 o'clock at night or midnight. There were times we went past midnight. It wasn't often, but I know at least happened once.
It was in the summertime when we was edifying the boy, and he was there for a good while. It was like, we're gonna be here till you ready to leave. And I was inexperienced, but yet still, we was like, whenever you're ready to leave, we're ready to leave. He stayed for hell.
Yeah. You know, but the scriptures say, I sent you my prophets rising early.
Yep.
You know, and that's, you know, can be twofold. Actually rising early in the morning, and also well before something happens.
Flee the trouble in the cities.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, the freedom.
Yeah. Hey, like the brother said, what if we hear another 10 years?
Yeah, we don't want that, but what if?
Yeah.
How are you going to live your life? Yeah.
So it's like, but you say the Most High did not use you. So
do a lot, or you can be very, and it's like, you know what the reward is, and you know that very few people are going to be able to achieve that award, wouldn't you go hard to try to get it though?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people will spend hell of money to try to bank and win, you know? Look at what people did with the cryptocurrencies. You have people who put their whole life savings in because they were expecting to double or triple their money. And you got a lot of people that lost out. I mean, that's dumb. Why you would take your nest egg and go and squander it, man? Like that was on you. You're dumb.
That's that hot pocket time.
Yeah, exactly.
The set came out and everybody else was like, oh, you know, he put that money away for a little bit. We come out and say they made some money and
Hey, you see, that's the thing. You know, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's the best time to plant a tree, 20 years ago.
yeah.
You should have planted walnut trees when you were born, type of shit. And then by now, or you know, by the time you're 50, cut that bitch down and sell it for, you know, hundreds of thousands, man. Go, you know, try to go hard, man.
Let me I'm no Tarian to put off the forth and security thou shalt be destroyed the day of vengeance.
You see what I'm saying? The more you read these scriptures and understand it, you're supposed to embody it. You're supposed to embody the scriptures don't embody you. You're supposed to embody the scriptures. You are dying daily. You're mortifying your members. You're purging yourself. You're washing your hands of blood. You're warning people. You're giving people the benefit of the doubt here and there. You're telling them what it is you're doing, what you're up to. You're letting them decide, because there's not a lot of time. So don't put off from day to day. Don't tarry. You're not going to save you. That's why the Lord said, just as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of man when he comes, the Son of Man when he returns.
Verse 8. Set not thine heart upon goods, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. Right? It says, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity.
You see? They're not going to save you, man. So all those people that had more money and clout than Noah in his day in his age, where are they at? Where's their lineage? Yeah, they're sand. They're literally pieces of sand. They've been ground up, they've been eaten and pooped out and ground up, and they're pieces of sand now. That's what happens to dead things in the ocean. Other things eat it and it gets broken down to its smallest fucking molecule. You know, things of the dirt of the earth return to the earth, and things of the spirit of man return it back to the Heavenly Father who gave it. So there's no security in these riches that people. You're better found doing the will of the Most High, being in the spirit of YAHAWASHI, that you may be delivered, man. That you may be delivered. You know, showing these some brothers, they shared a video. It looked like it was in Mexico or India.
It's like India.
You know, and I shared it with a number of different groups, you know, and it was interesting to see how each, you know, WhatsApp group or individual reacted, you know, and one of the things that was pointed out was that there was hella people that fell out that fucking building.
But they jumped.
And jumped, right? But there's hella people that fell out. But at the end of the video, you only saw, man, women were falling over there, you know?
They were going head first. The women, they was.
Hey, but in the say the top. You know what I mean? It's got to be ordained. That helping hand, it's got to, the Most High is not with it to allow them to get caught. Then it's over, man. You know, so it's interesting to see things like that, but the scriptures do tell us that few men shall be saved. This is a small sanctuary, so knowing the terror of the Lord, that should persuade men. You know, telling them of the wrath to come, the things to come, and to not to trust in riches, but yet and still we see Israelites and men leading into their own belly, their own delights. So look, there's not a lot of time left, man. You know, there's not a lot of 10 years is not a long time. 1 year went by and it felt like fucking 3 months. You know, it went by quick. This year went by fast. It's out of January.
Yeah, and this shit just
hit
started.
this shit.
It just started.
Hey, the Lord said He will make the time short.
Mm-hmm.
Speed up the times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What the elect say.
This is Jeremiah chapter 35, verse 15. I have sent also unto you all my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, Return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other gods to in the land.
Yeah, that's what the Lord has His prophets doing. Simply reproving, rebuking Israel, and letting them know, like, look, man, we're in captivity under the devil. All right, you see how Jake is getting, you know, the shit in every stick, getting killed by the police, traffic stops, getting named for everything, racial. All right, you know, nothing's working out, man. And then everything that you consume, spiritually, physically, mentally, is all death. You know, you should be tired of that. You're in your enemy's land. You're in land that belongs to your brothers that was stolen from them. All right, and they'll never get it back. They'll never get it back. Well, overall, this ain't even our land, our home country. You know what I'm saying? And we're saying, look, there's something better. There's something better, and that's what the men is out here doing, man. Out here preaching the word, man. Okay.
Yeah, you know, you got a lot of guys that they see something serious and they make fun of it. Like there was that security guard, I think he was like from Florida or something, but he got on Facebook with the AK and a gun, and he put like a towel on his head with a shower curtain, and was saying he was gonna go shoot and kill President Trump. And what happened? They arrested him like that, man. You know, as soon as the news of World War III and the draft came out, what did people do? They started scoffing. They started making fun of it. You started seeing videos of female military personnel twerking. He's coming to destroy this world, to set it on fire, man. To deliver us and to set up his elect as the rulers, the next rulers of the world. And then so what happens? You got, who was that one comedian, Mike Epps? Mm-hmm. What did he do? He put on like an Israelite garment, him and the other what good does it give you, man? So here it is, like, we're in a time of all seriousness. World War III, as the scripture said, 3 woes, you know, coming, the mark of the beast. All the U.S. World leaders have said they want everyone microchipped by the year 2030.
And that license plate said one true God.
Yeah, there's signs all around, you know what I'm saying? Like things, but who's listening? Who's actually, that's what the Lord said. Why do you speak unto the disciples asked, Lord, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And what did he respond? Because it's for you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. He said, in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. So in the New Testament, what were they talking about? Prophecy, things from what we call the Old Testament. And to this day, even in Genesis, there's things that are being fulfilled in this day and time. This is a book of prophecy, you know? There's a lot of prophecy in there. So there's the majority of our people who are not going to get this, right? And there's going to be a small portion of you who see it. Yep. So this is a precious thing. It's a gift, you know?
dwell know that I have given unto your fathers, but they have not inclined. I'm sorry, but ye have not inclined your ear nor hearkened unto me.
Yep. And you see Jake continuously being rebellious, you know, doing whatever the hell they want to. All right. You know, in a large reason for that is social media, man. Like the brother said, you got serious things popping off around the world. You had one video on World Star of some soldier that was doing a selfie video of himself, and they was like in a convoy, and the truck behind him, you hear a rocket get shut off, and then you hear BAM! And he's filming himself, and you can see behind him this other truck following him. That truck is the dude back of the road because of social media. You got Jake continually just being stupid, just being completely ignorant to YAHAWASHI, man, loving folly, man. As the scriptures say, folly is set in great indignity. You know, anything that's dumb will be dignified in America, man. All right. Meanwhile, what's precious, what's true, get rejected. You know.
Yeah, well, look at what the media is doing with they're sensationalizing Israelites. You know, and they're speaking to their black different shades of brown. We're Hebrew Israelites, not black Hebrew Israelites, but they do that and they try to you know, or they had a garment on or this or that or whatever. But then meanwhile, there's all kinds of stuff going on where white people are killing each other in their own churches. And that only gets radio play for an hour and then throw it out. All the shootings are brothers, you know, because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. His blessing is the sword. There isn't anything in this world that he doesn't have his hands on. You know, and that's what we're seeing with Iran and Iraq.
Is that really David Rothschild? Caesar Borgia?
Caesar Borgia?
Yeah, the above him. Right?
Yep.
He's a Rothschild too?
Yeah. Isn't it funny how he looks just like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's spiritual. It's very spiritual.
If you have eyes to see it, though.
Yeah. A lot of people will say just dismiss it like, oh, it looks like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, well, yeah, I guess so, you know. Like that's a good point. But it's funny that the most iconic image, that's the poster child for it's like, you know, right, the Arabs didn't do this, the Asians didn't do this, like it's an image of a person. Like, so who painted that picture? It's evident who's in power. Everyone in the world wears the attire of Peter. Everyone wears the black suit. We'd all be wearing grass skirts and, you know, whatever their attire is.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. It opened.
What they remember Dave Chappelle said when they went to war in Iraq, and what did they do? They started taking out every statue and picture of Saddam Hussein. Right? They started taking it, and what they put up, the likeness of their image. Ronald McDonald is over there now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they put themselves up. Everywhere he goes.
Michael too.
Michael too. It's a man even his house and his heritage.
Yeah. Removeth not the landmarks.
The landmarks and name lands after himself. I mean, we're in Washington State. Who's it named after? George Washington. Lewis and Clark County.
Mount Rainier is named after like a military commander or general or something like that.
It was, yeah, originally that was named Tahoma. The natives called it Tahoma, and that's why Tahoma Mark. It's local. So everything that you have in this world, and then, you know, if you look on a map, there's different locations on Mount Rainier that they've named. Oh, this is so-and-so peak, or ice this, or they have all glacier this and that. So everywhere they went was like, you own everything. So no matter like what you wear, what you have, or what you set up, everything is owned by Babylon. Whether it's in your face or not, everything is owned by Babylon.
Should go to him as a
Right? Everything. Yeah, so like the brother read though, they that's top of it. So dominance and power, man. They knew that there was power behind our imagery, our culture, our customs. That's why those converts, the Khazars, Edom, the Amalekites, that's why they took over the identity of Judah, man. That's why they took Judah's identity over. They turned one tribe into a religion, Judaism. They didn't do Manassitism or Reubenism or Gadism. They took the tribe of Judah. And in Judah, you find the name of the Most High, because what does Judah mean? It means thank the Most High. YAHAWAH. YAHAWAH. The Da makes it like gratitude, thanks. Thank the Most High. That's what the woman named her son. They don't even call themselves Judites. They call themselves Israeli or Jew. So there's no news coverage on that and the things that matter.
I don't know. You get silent.
Yeah,
it's anti-Semitic.
Where did that
They're not Semitic.
Yeah. Well, they are, because they still come from Shem. They're Shemitic, but we're also Shemitic too. But so are the Chinese. So are the Japanese. So are the East Indians.
the Iranians is Semitic.
Yeah,
Semitic
yeah,
too.
yeah, they are.
They
Mhm.
come from Shem. Remember, because you had Ham, Shem, and Japheth.
And that was anti-Semitism with Soleimani.
Him trying to build a wall.
Jews is because that term actually goes back to a German word, Haus Judas or something like that, which means Jew hate. That was specific to them because everyone knew they weren't the real Jews. So that's why they say that. In that Time Life magazine, World War II, where he said he never killed any Jew because he knew the real Jews were black, so-called black. Okay, so that's a well-known thing in history. That even backs up why that Egyptian president, why he said, "How did black what?"
There'll never be no peace.
There'll never be no peace.
He said because of that exception.
So everyone knows. And why would he say that? In the Quran itself, it says that they're waiting for Jacob basically to come back. They know that Jacob is the rightful heir of the land over there. They know that. A lot of times, if you talk to these gas station owners, and they'll tell you, oh yeah, we know about the real Israelites, and those Jewish people aren't the real. They know.
Oh yeah.
But they play it hella cool. You would never know. Like that they know some shit. You're just like, they're taking money, exchanging money. But everyone else knows. Why don't our own people know? That's how you know we're Israelites. The scripture tells you, had we been sent to any other people, they would receive it. But we're sent to a hard-headed and a gainsaying nation of people. People that would not hear, stiff-necked.
You even had Vladimir Putin had his orchestra play that song that said,
Look at Ludacris did. He went and got citizenship.
In Ghana, isn't it?
Yeah, like Ghana or Gabon. That's like our people are desperate for a culture and an identity. But when you show them what the real culture and identity is, they don't want it. The best thing on the planet doesn't. He shaves it off, you know? The things that we have control in our power, your diet, your appearance, you know, things like that that are within your control. Maybe you have a job where you have to shave. Okay, but still you fight for that right. At this day and age, with all that sexual freedom that people are having and stuff, now a lot of places, they don't care if you have a beard. They're like, yeah, you know, whatever. You'll work at some places where people are you know, business casual, and they still have like their ears are gauged or their noses are gauged. Weird shit. You're like, man, what the hell? Like in a business setting, like really?
Yeah.
This place can't go on any longer, man.
It used to be back in the days, you had tattoos and from the sleeve down, you had a hard time getting a job, man. Not anymore. You can fucking have. I remember in the military when they
That was
like
a sign
around.
of property. So like when you had a tattoo or a branding, that was that you belonged to somebody, or you were some sort of prisoner. You know, you weren't like people saw that and it's like, oh damn, like you're not a good person. What the hell are you doing here? So you know, they want to like run you out of town or something. You know?
Yeah, like I remember in the military back in like 2005, 4 or 5, was when they started allowing you to have get tattoos on your neck, because there used to be a point where you couldn't get into the military if you had tattoos on your neck. But then they started giving certain people waivers, and then eventually they just waived the whole shit to where now you get fucking tattoos all on your neck and shit. Which it looks like the brother said, highly unprofessional, right? But that just shows you the time period in which we're in. You know?
Yeah. What is that? The book of Daniel. Daniel. It tells you that the wicked, he thinks change the time. Something is made for the first time. There's no change. You know, it tells you that in what 3:6 that the Heavenly Father, he doesn't change. You know, therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So a lot of people just say, oh, the Gentiles is talking about anyone else that's not an Israelite. No, it's talking about Israelites that according to the curse and the promise that for your disobedience, I'll scatter you out into every nation, kindred, and tongue. That's why the disciples, the apostles, were sent out to every nation, kindred, and tongue. That's an easy thing to understand. Even James 1:1 says it, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. And Paul said it, my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Right, that means that he's going to harass. He's going to harass the saints. That's talking about harassing them. So like you see brothers' pages going down, videos getting taken down, brothers being escorted from certain premises. That's what that means.
That's anti-Semitism.
That's anti-Semitism. And it's stepping on what it's showing is you other so-called Americans that there's no freedom of speech. If we're being censored and hushed as our freedom of speech and our freedom of religion, because that was part of the Constitution. They murdered to get this land.
Right.
They murdered 90% of every one of us to get this land, man. And look what they've done with it. Chief Seattle himself, he said, look, you can have this land. We'll give it all to you. Just take care of it the way we left it. The animals, the water, the land, the air, everything. Just take care of it. Because the mindset of the Gadites was the children are the grandparents. They're going to be the grandparents, and it's going to be you don't keep anything for you. Everything is for the generation. What are these Caucasians? And when you look around at the younger generation, what do? Smoked out in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Tearing up, devaluing the markets, tearing up the streets. Yeah. Okay, so you shall think to wear out the patience of the saints. He's going to harass us. Go ahead.
And think to change times and laws, and shall be given into his hand until a time and times and a dividing of times.
Right.
350 years.
Call said, surely the turning of things upside down, it shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, meaning the way that he made it and fashioned it for the purpose of this one is for honor and this one is for dishonor. What happened? Edom, the wicked, came and they said, no, this one that you set up for honor, we're going to make it dishonorable, and the one that you call dishonorable, we're going to make it honorable. So they've changed that. And then even with the times itself, right? We're in a Julian calendar, in a solar, in a sun worship cycle. That's why we're in a leap year now.
Yep.
Why are we in a leap year? Because we're not organically watching, as told us in Genesis, that the sun, the moon, and the stars were given to us time, season, days, and years, man. So we're not going off of the natural cycle like Issachar was, you know, like the Incans, the Mayans, the Aztecs, like the Southern Kingdom. And now those were the stargazers, those were the astronomers. You read about that in the Chronicles and Kings, Northern Kingdom, a lot. So it tells you that. So that's an obvious sign of the kingdom. You were going to say something?
No, I haven't. This is Isaiah 5:20. It's like it. For darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing with all this, gender fluidity, just the confusion, setting up a woman over a woman shall surpass a man. You know, children are the oppressors and they rule over them. The child's got more rights than you as a parent. You have no rights over your child. You know? You can't go to the Planned Parenthood and abort your 12-year-old. You know, you can't get rid of them. They don't want to listen, but you can't discipline them. So what are you left to do? Like, what do you do as a parent? It's like, well, they just come and go as they please. They don't listen. Nobody can really do anything to that kid. So they put them on scared straight. You know, try to scare them straight. That doesn't work all the time. They're gonna shoot up the school, and then it's their first time getting in trouble. They think it's funny, and then they'll keep doing it. And then you see an adult do it, who's a security guard, right? They see older people doing it. So that's why they say it takes a village to raise a child, man. There is no community. All that women's liberation, what it did was it broke up the family. It broke up, especially for our people, which are very family orientated. Okay, you got to get the man out of the house. The women, you got to get out of the house to go work. Now the child's severely left alone or put around strangers. Start re-educating them. That's what they did with Gad, with all the Gadite children. They put them and giving people STDs. I mean, at what point do you not consider that the so-called white man is the devil? You know, he's been given power to do this stuff. That's the thing that you got to remember is he's been given the power to do all this. So all this hell we're going through, what is it going to do? It's going to make us appreciate the kingdom. Because just being given something, white privilege, they got it. They just give it to. They don't know. These people in power. Strung out on drugs. That's why the laws changed is because it's their grandchildren that are on the meth. It's their grandchildren that are on the opioids. It's their grandchildren that are getting caught with this and that. But as long as it's not happening to them, our people will do 200 years in jail. Triple life sentences. What kind of shit is that? So he's changed times and laws. And he's got the power to do so. We're all under his take holidays, even if you're Thanksgiving, Easter, right? It's like, I don't want to do that, man.
I want to still work. You all celebrating Christmas and bullshit. I don't care for that.
Yeah, and it's all the money. It's all the financial money. Because at the end of the year, you go broke for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. You get your income. What he saves that, it goes to a new car, catch up on the that you were putting on for the power cut because you were buying presents and all this other weird shit. And then Valentine's Day. All this bullshit, you keep getting smacked with all this shit, and you're kind of forced like, oh, you gotta do this, oh, I gotta do that. The Most High is giving you high holy days to observe. He's giving you things for your body to rest, your spirit to prepare itself. But our people won't listen, man. That's how we know that we're the Israelites. It's because anybody else would take heed. If we were sent to any other nation, they would hear us, as the scriptures say. You got something?
Yeah, this is Ephesians 2:11. Wherefore, remember that ye, being in the past, who are called on, which is circumcision, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without the Most High in the world.
Yeah, at one point we were in the world at one point, but we were born again too. And it's like there was a young Gadite when we first started. You know, you could tell he was kind of strung out. You know, he's still smoking cigarettes and stuff. And he's like, man, you know, I was like, yeah, we got, you know, incense. And sometimes we burn sage out here and stuff. And he was like, oh man, you know, I want to smell. That's only a physical representation. The real cleansing is in your mind, and washing on your word. The scriptures say that. How will a young man cleanse his ways? By taking heed to the words of the Heavenly Father. That's how you cleanse yourself. And so, as you're intaking, you have to show action in baby steps. You start cutting out the catfish, the crab meat, the lobster, the pork. You know, it's baby steps. You start smoking cigarettes. You start to cut down on smoking cigarettes until you don't smoke at all. You know, you're getting yourself clean, step by step. It's not going to be cold turkey everything overnight. It's going to be step by step. You know? So we were all in that state of mind, but at some point, you got to get tired of doing that same stuff that you know is killing you. You see what it's doing to your day, your mother, your father, those around you. In the same breath, they'll say that they love you and that, you know, they never want to leave your side, but yet they're doing things to kill themselves.
This one I was looking for. This is 1 Peter 4:3. It says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have brought the will of the Gentiles in love. People look at you crazy when you don't celebrate the holidays. You know?
Yeah, people were looking at Noah when he was. In front of they were destroyed and he was delivered.
Talking crazy and shit.
Yeah, you know, like what if you're the only person that wears glasses, right? And everyone's like, look at that four eyes over there. It's like, yeah, what the fuck, man? Like, you guys know I got that. Wait, they're gonna do it?
I got diabetes.
Hey, yeah, just keep making fun of the. And then what ends up happening? He makes it and you don't. Like, what a slap to their face, you know? So we were like, especially as a child, you don't know any better. And that's the biggest excuse that people do and say is, it's for the children. It's for the children.
Mm-hmm.
But how is it any good to them when all year they were bad as hell? You know they were bad as hell. You know these kids were bad as hell. They didn't even deserve breakfast that day. You know, you know? They think it's run access the same ride system this way. The same quality. The same right. You see a herd of buffalo going over a cliff, and they're all running, and you see it, and you don't run with them, and they're looking at you like, look, this guy's weird.
Fire. The dude
Oh,
fire.
the dude in the fire. The building that was on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't jump out the window just head first. You know what I'm saying? You like, okay, this shit's on fire, but I want to live. So what I'm gonna do? Look, they had that song back in the day, jumping out the window with this one. You know, It's one of them New York niggas that had a song we talking about jumping out the window with this one. So like, hey, people on this road, this place is proverbially on fire. America's proverbially on fire spiritually, and the prophets of the Lord were like, we ain't trying to burn up with this shit. So what do we got to do to be protected from the fire while we here, and ultimately to be shielded from the fire when it actually physically comes to this place, man?
Yeah, that's why the scripture says, I think it's in the Apocrypha, to separate ourselves from the world. This America is like the heaviest vibration of most places. You know, the countries here in America, they're totally weird if we're not weird like they are. You know, they're totally just outcasts. So that's what I think in the book of Peter, where he said that we become the offscouring of the world. The offscouring soup or whatever. Well, that's what we've become to these people. Is the disgusting part of the pot.
Yeah. Second Ezra, it's like Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity."
And this is that furnace, man. So when you think back on the three holy children, were they not in the fire? But they weren't consumed. So here it is, we're in the fire, but we're not consumed. We're not overtaken by the ways of this world or these people. And the longer you study, the longer you pray, and you gain point of revelation, given an opportunity to show strength, to show restraint from someone. Like, Lord, give me strength. Most I might put you in a situation where, as a man, you're around this woman and you've been trying to get her for a while, and you're like, man, okay, I finally got the date with her. Man, that's crazy, And then she takes you somewhere, meet her family. Like, I might have to walk away from this woman completely. That's a great moment to show strength.
Yeah.
And you're proving it, well, first and foremost to the Heavenly Father, the angels that are seeing it, and you're confirming your own soul, man. It's a way to wash up a little bit. I wanted strength. I even denied myself. And that's one thing that the Lord says. Those that have denied, their own families, and fathers and mothers and themselves, they'll be worth following. That's what yeah, because that's a good scripture.
This is Luke 14:26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own.
Yeah, the word hate, it means to detest. So, because you still honor your mother and your father, but if they're doing something that's wrong, right, you detest it. You're like, no, hey, look, mom, dad, look, I love you, I have respect for you, I honor you, but I'm not honoring our family name by doing what's right, even though you don't acknowledge it. So I can honor you by being disobedient to you for righteousness in that sense. You see, that's not giving you license to say, fuck you, mom, fuck you, dad, and start hitting them or something. That's not what it's doing, to give you license to do that. That's not what this is talking about. Because the law is a schoolmaster. It was to help build and guide morality. But what happened was Jake started finding loopholes, started bribing the priests. The priests would take the bribes. And so morality immediately got corrupted. Now we're in this situation here where we're in this transition. Where we have a grace period. Like when you enter a contract into buying a house or a car, you sign papers today, and you can drive that car right now, and you already signed everything, and the money's floating. It's in this grace period. Your insurance is, here's a copy in case anything happens right now as you drive off the lot. But it's like a grace period until everything comes in the mail. Yeah. Your plate's got to come, all the paperwork's got to come through. Right.
It's usually about 2 months before you make your first payment.
Right, until you pay that car off, and then, so you're still under this like weird grace period. That's what we're in. We're in a period of grace. So what did Paul say concerning grace? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Heaven forbid. Do we then make void the law through faith? No, no, he said, yea, we established the law. So the law is, we do rehearse it, but wise as a serpent as a dove. So you'd be over righteous, destroying your own soul for one, you see, and two, you know the power is not in your power. The Lord's not of us, and that's part of suffering. It's part of accepting tried in affliction. That's an affliction. That's like even Job. He said he was what was it? He was vexed by the filthy conversation of the wicked, man.
That was Lot.
Oh, Lot. He was vexed by the filthy conversation of the wicked. So here it is. We're rehearsing the same things that the prophets and the men, our forefathers before us have gone through. There's no new thing under the sun. That's why even Paul said, be ye followers of me, even as I am of YAHAWASHI. So we're following in that same pattern of footstep. And YAHAWASHI solidified and said, the servant isn't greater than his master. The same thing that I go through, you got to go through. So they killed YAHAWASHI. What are they going to do to us? What should you expect to happen? Death. You know? So that's why I put that to this world in the spiritual sense. Now, but there are some of us here that we will taste of that. Lord willing, you know, that, and we're given that extended mercy, the sure mercies of David. Because there's all time, man, you're not supposed to wear fabrics that are diverse and mismatched, but the way that they make shoes, the elastic in your undergarments, you know, especially winter clothing, they fused all kinds of different materials and fibers. Just try to keep you warm. Yeah. So we're breaking the law. Everyone's breaking the law right now. Yeah. Who's to say you didn't touch something that a woman on her menstrual cycle didn't touch? Or someone that was unclean didn't touch something in the process of the manufacturing of a product that you're wearing? Or something, the product in your house, the light switch in your house, who put that together? Right. Who put that in the bag, put it in a box, put it on the truck, unloaded the truck, offloaded the truck, put stickers all over it, unpackaged the box. On the shelf. Yeah, distributed the individual things. Put it on the shelf. Grabbed it off the things. Checked it out. Put it in the bag. Yeah. Like, how many hands are in there?
This is Mark chapter 9, verse 1. They have seen the kingdom of the Most High come with power.
Yeah. So that's a fulfillment we're looking for to happen. We want to see that. Corruption. Our bodies are suspect to corruption, to decay. We get older, our joints break down, our bones get brittle, our organs, get weaker in age. All these things happen. So our bodies were in a state of decay. It's like it was Adam. He said, "You die. You're not right. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to live a perfect age limit." So now you're in the curses. Now you're in the curses. Yeah. So it's the same thing. We're under the curses too now.
Back in Luke 14.
So like the only difference now is that it's not going to be, or this isn't going to repeat. You know, there's no more reset. Adam was a reset. 10:18. Noah was a reset. See what I'm saying? YAHAWASHI was a reset. That's why the scriptures say affliction shall not arise a second time. Affliction shall not arise a second time. And why does it say the second time? Because the nation wasn't established yet. Jacob wasn't established yet. That's why in the Apocrypha it tells you that the crown, he passed from Abraham to Isaac, and he said the crown rested on Jacob. The crown rested on Jacob.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now we're here. So the crown is staying with us. So it's not. We're not going to have to go through affliction a second time. It's just this one time. Okay. So this is something. That's something that's all to be kept in mind. There's always going to be 2/3 amongst 1/3, 1/3 amongst 2/3. You know, you're going to have friends of the prophets. You're going to have people that believe and listen. And they may not be set up to be a teacher, but they're going to order their way aright.
Yes.
They're going to listen and receive a prophet in the name of a prophet. They'll be like, man, those are the prophets in the name of the Lord. That's what I listen, man. I listen. You know? Yeah, and I've learned, and I've been learning, I've been teaching those around me, or directing them that way. You know, I've been teaching my children, my wife, if they're willing, if they're not, that's a cattle and shove it down their throat. They live their life, I live mine. Because that's what Job was doing. It doesn't, when you read it, think about it for you know, parent time, you know, like, Job, his kids were like Job. Esau would lie. You know, like, man, that's it. Boys, you know, it's just here in the flesh. Subject to vanities. Abraham, yeah, loved Ishmael, but the Lord loved Isaac. You see, and even Jacob, you know, when he got Manasseh and Ephraim, he said, "These are my kids." He swapped it over, and Joseph tried to correct him. We talked about it last time. Jacob was like, "No, this is how it is." The spirit moved on him.
He said, "No, I know."
So the spirit overrides. Everything. Revisit a lot of things with new experience, with a new perspective and a new outlook. It'll help guide a lot of other situations.
Ecclesiastes 10:18. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through.
Yeah, so that's why you got to stay busy, man. Constantly cleaning things out, because dust collects, things break down over time, because nothing is 100% efficient in this life, man. The only thing that's 100% efficient is the Most High, the Spirit. When He wants, His will is 100% efficient. There's nothing that can break that, man. Nothing that comes close. Okay, if He doesn't, it's not gonna happen.
26. It says, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
Yeah, you see? So if you don't bear your cross and come after, but that's a death sentence, basically. That's walking to the gallows. That's being on the wagon. I think we talked about that last time. What it means to be on the wagon means that you would be on your way to get executed. So they would drop you off, and then you have one last drink before they would kill you.
Yeah.
And then the bartender would ask, "Hey, you want another drink?" And someone would be like, "Nah, he's on the wagon." And then, oh, hey, shit. All right, man. Yeah. Go back outside, jump on that wagon. That's the last time your feet ever ground, you know?
Yeah.
Because after they're up in the air, you know, for your last breath.
They're up in there until even.
Yep, bring them down. So you gotta man. You gotta deny. So things that get in your way, you gotta be able to be strong enough to cut those things out, man. You know, you gotta be able to say no. In this society, it's like a bad thing to say no. You know what I'm saying? To tell someone no, it's like a bad thing. But everybody's rude already.
Hey, it's funny because I was at work yesterday. Look at this. I was at work. He run like an apple of kite.
That little nigga's knees is already gone.
Hey, so I was at work yesterday, and we was doing a good ass job, and I was in the. But it was relevant to like what we was actually doing at work, and so this dumbass Edomite chick, her being a devil, the Israelite, the Israelite that I'm working with, he was up on a scaffold, and so he's reading me off numbers. You know, I'm taking them and shit, and things are just moving efficiently and smoothly and shit. And I was, you know, feeling it. And the Edomite chick, she gonna say, "Did you just say you loved him?" And straight away, just quick like that. And it's like she's being a devil. She know good and damn well I didn't say that shit. I was like, fuck no. Like it pissed me off. It pissed me off because like the first thing that came to my mind was the Akim and probably a couple family members, so-called family members. And so like that's serious to me. Like if you ain't in that category, I don't got no love for you. You know what I'm saying? Especially this fucking 2/3. You know what I'm saying? So like that was like the truth within me. Like, man, I ain't about to play with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But so like
you know, that's the thing. Words, yeah, words used to have power. Words really, words do have power. You know, the world that we live in now downplays it. And what proves that is when you read the prologue to Sirach, and they break it down, and they say, look, these words that we've labored to interpret, when they're spoken in the original language, they don't lack power. So they try their best to interpret, to retain that power, and to keep the same force in them. You see? Words have power and meaning, man. So you can't just be loosey-goosey with the things that you say. You know, what is this? There's a scripture that talks about that with, you know, out of the mouth, and basically out of the mouth and the tongue. I'm going to butcher like 3 things here. Out of the mouth and the tongue, you know, bad things can happen.
It's in the apocrypha.
Okay, I'll help you out. I'm great with this.
I know.
I know searches.
Hey, this is I know scripture. This is Proverbs 31 and 6. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. That's the point.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of drinking, really. And forget your misery, you know. But when you wake up and you come back to your sober mind, there's those problems are still going to be there. You know, those problems will still be there. They're not going away. Just you forget for a moment. You know, the whole point of drink is to make you merry. That's why the scriptures also talk about give strong drink to them that are ready to perish. Because when you're buzzing, everything feels good and warm. You know, you're like, King, he took an arrow to the neck. The first thing he said was wine, strong drink.
Yeah.
He brought him something to drink and drinking. Alcohol is gushing out the room. You know, short died after. You know? But it was, you know, you see that, you know, in the scriptures, you're like, damn, that's some real shit. Get strong drink to them that are ready.
This is a pretty. This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful of what you say, who you say it to, how you say it. And I think that's something that a lot of guys don't lose track of. You know, especially like leaders, these leaders of all these cult groups that have popped up all over the place. And they, you know, someone put a comment on one of Nate's videos and said, it was funny, man, because they said, I wish he would do it more.
Wish he would hit the highways more.
Yeah, which is
Free speaking or something.
which is like, well, if he was passionate, he would be hitting this. So it's like he's not passionate to say, I wish he would speak more because he's got passion. He obviously doesn't have passion for this, man. He doesn't have passion. So that's another, man, people really neglect experience what word that was supposed to be or what they were trying to say. So here it is, in our real life example, we can see a clerical error, but then when you bring up Deuteronomy 23, all of a sudden that comes, that's not a thing. So words have power, words have meaning. You know, you're gonna even be judged by the things things you do, man. You know, and all words are actions, and words they go hand in hand. It's like spirit and physics. It's all vibration, right? You know, you can utter a lot with the tongue, man. You know, what do they say? When you talk a lot, that you have a silver tongue, but silence, that's gold, man. YAHAWASHI, what did he say when they were accusing him? Nothing to very little. Very little to nothing is what he said, man.
Thou sayest.
He's like, let's get that show on the road, man. Like, yeah,
I'm ready to walk it.
yep, that's it. There's been no. Yeah, hey, Rodney King didn't even get beat as bad as they did YAHAWASHI. Yeah. Yeah, Emmett Till. Woo.
First couple of chapters. I just read it the other day.
It's all right.
I'm in the right book. I'm just trying to find the right words.
Whenever you brothers find it, we'll probably just wrap it up. Yeah, so there's accountability that needs to be taken, because we're seeing more of these more guys that are claiming that they're Israelites or acknowledging the fact that they're an Israelite, and they're doing dumb things, right? And a lot of them are without shepherds, like the other nations say of us that our own shepherds pity us not, you know. And you see that trickle down into a lot of these camps. That whole YAHAWASHI, they disregard, but they'll slander the hell out of Greatmillstone or other groups this way and that way.
You got that one leader out there in the UK beating up crates and crowbars, trying to got to lay right out. The weapons of our warfare. You know, they're his flock to destruction. Man.
I mean, look, if you want to get great boxes to release, you know, physical anger, tension, I mean, do that on your own and keep it private. Don't push that vibration on others, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, be wise and servant, harvest of the love. Even the scriptures didn't talk about keeping things between you and the Most High. You don't gotta confess, you know, everything to hey, bro. Man, when I was two, you know, I saw my parents naked. You know, I was taking a shower. You know, my mom had me in the shower. I was two. She was there. I was naked. I was two. Like, come on, man. Like, be safe.
All right, this is James chapter 3, verse 5. It says, even so, the tongue is a little member, great things. Iniquity, so is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of the serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind, but the tongue can no man tame. It is truly.
Who can tame the tongue? You know? Who can really tame the tongue, man?
Oh, if you watch that movie, fuck, I forget what it's called, but the apostles always talk about it. It goes in on slavery, and they the fucking devils is with not Shaka Zulu, but the other little African fucking warrior. I think it might be Shaka Zulu. Yep. When they was coming to Americas, they was like, how are we gonna take over these people? He's like, we have double speech. One, yeah, but it means something.
Yeah, that's what Trump does. Trump plays four-dimensional chess. He says something to throw everyone off, and like he'll wink at the crowd or do some little gesture, and it's like, if you know him, it's like, nah, he's got you. He's gonna make things happen. Like he's gonna give you that double speech, like he does with North Korea. And he says one thing, does another, says one, does another, says one thing, does another. Yep. He's good at the double speech, man. No one can, you know what I'm saying? So that tongue is full of deadly poison. People will drink it up and be intoxicated because Trump's saying this. You see all these clips of Trump, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, saying things that are opposite of what he's saying to this day. And then you're like, well, who the fuck is this guy? And you have to really know him to be like, okay, I know what he's about. A lot of people ride behind him just because he's the president or just because he's leader, Just like they're supposed to. They're supposed to. Right, but they're supposed to, And then at the same time, the house is divided. So go people.
Verse 9. Therewith blessed be the Most High, even the Father, and therewith cursed we men, which are made after the similitude of the Most High. Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessings, or blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so to be. Pretty much that's pertaining to brotherhood.
Yeah, it's a dice with a negative and a positive. A good thing can happen, a bad thing can happen. Isn't that crazy? Ain't that better?
We'll find that exact one.
Yeah, like I said, I was pushing like 3 or 5.
3 seconds. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 28. Chapter 28, verse 12. It says, if thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. And both of these come out of thy mouth. Curse the whisper and the double tongue, for such have destroyed many that were at peace. A backbiting tongue have disquieted many and driven them from nation to nation. Strong city have it pulled down and overthrown the house of great men.
Agree with that adversary quickly while he was in the way with you. He used to cast you into prison. So by your tongue, you can settle the matter easily. Live peaceably, if at all possible. Live peaceably with all men. Yeah, this guy's a weirdo. That's a weirdo. Everyone stay safe.
With Gad, that was because first before he walked up to you, he walked up to me with a cigarette. Now I'm gonna stay trying to say I gave him dap and was like, "We don't smoke with the you smoke weed." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, just all right, man. Be about your way. Dapping someone up just peace because that's what the culture is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're taking power from you. You know what I'm saying? that woman did it off of belief and faith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like YAHAWASHI gave us power over idols, over devils, over he gave us power over negative energy, man. So I was like, man, you can't take shit from me. What's up, man? I got spiritual beads. You don't need beads. Spiritual beads.
Yeah.
You got spiritual everything. You're suited up in the spirit. Like when people that movie Hellboy, when the guy they had these glasses that let you see like spirits. The guy put them on and he looked at Hellboy and he had these big ass fucking horns with this halo of fire above him. And Hellboy's looking at him like, what's up? Because he would always cut him down, he'd shave him down. And the guy was like, oh shit, like that's what he's supposed to look like. That's pretty menacing, It was intimidating. So through the spirit, it's like, hey, we have that power, but we don't blow it out with people. You don't use it to supersede over situations. Hey,
use it for evil.
Right, you don't use it for evil.
Walking around in Super Saiyan all day.
Yeah, we act like Clark Kent. We're like, oh, that hurt. Oh,
I think it's broke.
That reminds me of two scriptures. There's no weapon formed against us must prosper, and then there's no enchantment against them from nation to nation.
Yeah, hey, that's Esau, man. Look at America. Look at the so-called founding fathers of America. You know, they supposedly broke away from England for religious freedoms and whatnot. You know, but then end up going to war with England. You know that's a fucking backbiting tongue, man.
Right.
Yeah, and driven them from nation to nation. They fucking here in America, South America, over in Australia. Damn, Esau everywhere he ain't supposed to be.
yeah, there was an incident in France. There was a couple incidences. One, the comedian Trevor Noah, whose father is Caucasian, but his mother is South African. And he explains that him growing up, his dad would have to walk on one side of the street, his mother on the other. And when the cops came, she would even move away from him so that they wouldn't fuck him. So that was weird. My dad's on one side, my mother's on the other. Cops come, she pushed me, and we were still walking. And then the cops would move. And then, oh, I love you again, son. Like, he was like, weird growing up like that. Which is more. Whatever, they have pride for their own ethnic nation. Maybe this will explain what I'm trying to say better. But there was an African guy that was looking to gain citizenship, so he's there on a visa or whatever. And there's a baby that's gonna fall out of a window. He climbs up and saves the baby and comes down. And then they're like, yeah, we're gonna give him a full French citizenship. Trevor Noah was like, so down here he's African, goes up, saves the baby, it's French. But down here, until he got there, he wasn't French. It's like, what kind of signal are you saying? Like, what are you sending here? Like you're taking people's identities away. So, but that's what Edom does. They heap unto themselves all nations and all people. There's no way Edom, the so-called white man, can play it to where he looks like the good guy because he's made to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Esau's like some bizarro Superman.
Yeah.
Got the S1 backwards and retarded and shit.
His fists are backwards and shit.
Explode in his face and shit. Draws on his head.
He got an extra little pinky right here and shit. It'll just be wiggling and shit. And move that. Look that little pinky, move that curl up.
Oh man.
He got all on his nose. Dentures fall.
It says strong cities have it pulled down and overthrown the houses of great men.
And that's what Esau's done with dropping bombs on these other countries. He's breaking down cities, man. Yeah, through lies, man.
Sanctions, diplomacies, treaties, and he breaks every one of them. He'll write it out and then find loopholes within it.
Yeah.
For himself. Like, why would you do that? Like, you find the loopholes and plug them up. It's like, no, this has to be solid. It's gotta be solid. And they do that like these are the billionaires. They'll get like a mail order wife, have them sign all the paperwork so that they come over. And if they get divorced after a couple years and he gets tired of them, they don't leave with shit, or they leave with shit, they don't get his money. So yeah, I'm gonna get a mail order bride, and then but she's not taking none of my money or anything. She's gotta get her own job, gets her own money. She decides, I'm gonna get my job and get away from this guy. Yeah, go, take yourself somewhere. Those guys, they.
Well, he's going through all this paperwork, so that way if they get divorced, she goes away with nothing. Well, in the scriptures, that's the way it's supposed to be. But Esau got the 613 laws, statutes, and commandments in the scripture. But Esau got thousands upon thousands of fucking amendments to this, that, and this, and sub-articles, blase, just to, yeah, he going around the world to come, to go back to what's natural. Bitch, if it don't work out, bye. Go by, hey, these kids, you ain't taking them. Bye. Go fucking walk in the middle of the desert and lay up under some bush. You know what I'm saying? Like, and die over there. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you ain't taking the kids, you ain't taking shit, you know?
Yeah.
Guaranteed Trump got a super tight document with Ibaka.
Yeah.
Guaranteed he got a super tight document with Ibaka.
Ironclad.
If she ever wants to leave, she ain't leaving with a cent.
Yeah. You know,
Probably found her under a nuclear. Hey, well, with that, we're gonna wrap it up, man. All praise to the Most High.
Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Barakah, Badash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of the nation of Israel, better known as the Great Millstone.